Hey everybody, Robert Van Valkenburgh here at Kogen Dojo in Severna Park.
Hey guys.
With Sean Diviney. Thanks for coming out, Sean.
Thank you.
Sean's a Yamasaki Black Belt from out in Rockville, right?
Yes, correct.
And you help teach the competition team out there?
Yep, the competition team as well as the fundamentals classes.
Cool. So how did you get started in Jiu-Jitsu?
So in 1999, I was going to school at the University of Colorado in Boulder, and Amal Easton was a purple belt at the time, who now is the head of Easton BJJ out in Colorado. But he had moved up there and started a program at the university, so that got me into it. And then when I came back to Northern Virginia, looked for a school to train at, and looked for the biggest, baddest guy I could find, and that was Mario Yamasaki at the time. So I started training at the Yamasaki Academy.
Nice. And you've been training there since when?
Since 99.
99. Oh wow. So you moved back here in 99.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And so have you been training nonstop?
So, I mean, like everybody else who's been training for any length of time, on and off, right?
Yeah.
So, a couple of months here and there for injuries, that sort of thing, but fairly consistently over the last 19 years.
And you also compete pretty regularly?
So, I did compete earlier this year in grappling industries. 2016 was my last big competition year, but I got some injuries that have kept me out, and I'm still trying to find my way back.
yeah, I understand. Well, what is it that makes you stick with jiu-jitsu in spite of all the injuries? What makes you kind of stick with it over the years?
I mean, I love it. It's my self-expression. It helps keeps me in shape. I think it helps keep everybody who does it young. So yeah, it would be hard to imagine my life without it.
Yeah, nice. And you're still under Yamasaki. So what is it that you like about the Yamasaki school that's made you stay there for so many years?
I mean, we're family. There's not a lot of places that have the longevity that our academy has. A lot of the guys that I train with on a daily basis, I've been training with for 20 years almost. So, it's something that I find very valuable to have those relationships over such a long term.
Yeah, I know that when we talk to people who have been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time in this area specifically, that Yamasaki is one of the two names that comes up in terms of the schools that kind of started the whole jiu-jitsu phenomenon in the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area. And the other school, their black belts went out and started their own schools everywhere. So it's hard to throw a rock without hitting either a McGill school or a Yamasaki school.
For sure.
At least people that used to be under McGill or Yamasaki or still are, like you guys are. How many schools does Yamasaki have now in this area?
It's a great question. I don't know the exact number. I could probably write them off if you want.
Yeah, well, you got DC and Rockville, right?
DC, Rockville. We've got Loudon. We've got Woodbridge. I think that's it for the immediate area. We've got one up in Delaware also.
So, what is it that you have going on? We were talking a little bit about how you actually have helped to bring jiu-jitsu to Burning Man.
Yeah.
So you want to talk a little bit about that? And that's a really cool, really cool phenomenon.
So for those of you who don't know, Burning Man is an art festival that happens out in the desert in Nevada. It happens for about a week every August going into September. It's about 70,000 people there. And so one of the questions that I was asking myself is like, what is my art, right? Because I didn't really fit, like I'm not really into the whole electronic dance music scene. Like I like the sculpture and stuff, but like what is my self-expression? What is my creativity? And the answer was jiu-jitsu. I mean, and I think anybody who's trained jiu-jitsu for any length of time or made it at least a purple belt would feel the exact same way. It's a very personal expression of who you are. The techniques that you choose and gravitate to are as much an expression of your personality as anything else. So we created a mat space there. Gary Radon, actually, from Reno, Nevada, was the one that started it, and I've kind of taken it over this last year or so. So yeah, when I'm out there, it's great to be able to just like roll out of my tent and train in the middle of the desert with people who just happen to be there. Sometimes they're just dirty hippies that roll up, and sometimes they're people who train every day, in their normal lives and brought their gis and their belts and are ready to go.
So how would somebody find that what is it called? The Burning Man Jiu-Jitsu.
Sure. So if you go on Facebook and look for Camp Settle This Like Men, it's the name of the camp. You'll see a sign that says, "If violence is not the answer, you're asking the wrong question." It's very hippie, peace and love friendly. You'll find us. And you can get all the information about how to find us. If you happen to be out at Burning Man, just leave a message and I'll let you know how to come find me.
Nice. And do you know off the top of your head what Yamasaki's main website address is?
Yes, it's grappling.com.
Super easy. Yeah, super easy. Wow. Yep, that's old school, so that's good. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, that's it. Thank you for having me. I'm excited
pleasure.
to be here, excited to have a knowledge sharing exchange with you all. So
yeah, and what is it we're going to work on tonight?
We're going to work on knee shield stuff and systems-based approach to developing your game within that knee shield system.
Sounds really fun. So every Monday night at Kogen Dojo, 549 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard in Severna Park, we have a different guest instructor out from Maryland, D.C., Virginia area, sometimes a little bit further. We had Cesar Paredes' brother from Ecuador out here a few weeks ago, so that was a nice treat. But we're really happy to have Sean out here. He came highly recommended from Fernando Yamasaki himself, and we have different people come out all the time, sometimes repeat visitors, and we're always happy to see what people are working on, especially if it's something different than what we're working on here. We're at House and Gracie School. We stick to House and Gracie based self-defense jiu-jitsu, and also we like to have fun. So check us out, www.kogendojo.com, and we're at 549 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard in Severna Park. Thanks again, Sean, for coming out. And
thank you.
If there's anybody you want to come out on a Monday night, then leave a comment. If there's anybody who would like to come out and visit our school, then hit me up or send us a message through the website. We're glad to have anybody out here that wants to show up. So awesome! Excited to have you out.
Man.
Thank you.